Over the last few generations of Pokemon, more and more lore is being based on an ancient art known as alchemy, the precursor to chemistry, and a combination of science, spirituality, and magic. And this series of videos aims to cover it all. This is Poke Alchemy. Today we are covering Solgaleo's alchemical origins. Solgaleo is a good subject to start this series on, as it was the reveal of Solgaleo that made many Pokemon fans first realize that there are and have been many references to alchemy in their favorite franchise. And the reason for this is because, out of everything, it is the most obvious of the references. Firstly, its name. Solgaleo comes from three words, the first of which is Sol, being Latin for sun. Latin was the language used by most alchemists. Galileo comes from the famous artist, mathematician, physicist, and astronomer Galileo Galilei, who discovered many things about our solar system, such as Jupiter's moons and the path of Venus, just to name a few. And also from Leo, the name of the lion constellation of stars. Also worth mentioning is Solgaleo's unique ability, Full Metal Body. While of course it's literal in Solgaleo's case, when you consider everything else that's going to be mentioned in this entire video series, it becomes plausible that it is also a reference to Full Metal Alchemist, an incredibly successful and popular manga and anime series which peaked during the early developmental stages of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, which is where most of the earliest references to alchemy in Pokemon are found. And as you'll find in this video series, this ability certainly is not the only reference to this anime series. Moving away from references to media, we look at the most obvious reference to real alchemy. Being the Pokemon Emissary of the Sun, its official description states that it is referred to as the beast that devours the sun. And non-coincidentally, that is exactly how the alchemical lion that devours the sun is described. The alchemical lion, though green, is referred to by Solgaleo in more than this way, however. Being Psychic Steel type confused some. When you think of the sun, you usually think of fire, so fire type would make more sense, and sure, that does make some sense, though the sun is more plasma than fire. Plasma made from hydrogen and iron. Some scientists even theorize that the sun is even mostly molten iron now. And when you purify iron and add carbon to it, you get steel. And this purification process just happens to be part of what the alchemical lion symbolizes. The reason the alchemical lion is green is because it symbolizes the purification of metals, and alchemists commonly used a liquid sulfate called vitriol to purify it. Most commonly purifying it into gold, and this liquid, of course, is green. Alchemists had tiers of metal, with some being considered more pure than others. Platinum was of course the purest and the most holy, though most alchemists only wanted to make gold, the second purest, as it is what most of the currency was made of at the time. Alchemists just wanted to get rich. And lead is considered to be the most impure of the metals, hence the classic turn lead into gold aspect of alchemy that is common in media today. And interestingly, every metal is also assigned a planet to symbolize it and gain astrological power from. And gold was connected to the sun. It should be noted that in alchemy the sun and the moon are considered to be planets. And the earth is not. It was a different time. According to Johannes Fabricus, an alchemy historian, on a more spiritual level, the green lion devouring the sun is a metaphor for when a person's consciousness is overwhelmed by violent, frustrated desires. In other words, if the spirit of this lion compels you, you tend to act destructively. But at the same time, according to the Cosmopolite, a book on alchemy from the 16th century, there is this one green lion which closes and opens the 7 indissoluble seals of the 7 metallic spirits, which torments the bodies until it has perfected them, by means of the artist's long and resolute patience. The 7 metallic spirits are of course the 7 metals in alchemy and the bond they share with their 7 planets. And the green lion is able to open and close the seals to them, essentially opening portals to them and their power. and this aspect is shared by Lunala. We know that both of these cosmic Pokemon have the power to open portals to Ultra Space, where the 7 Ultra Beasts reside, which is another plane of existence, or perhaps literally a whole other universe. This of course is an example of Game Freak taking Solgaleo's alchemic origins power literally, rather than figuratively. But what happens if Solgaleo and Lunala were to cross paths? And what about this new Necrozma armor? And speaking of the 7 metallic spirits that Solgaleo can open portals to, he opens portals to Ultra Space where the 7 different Ultra Beasts reside. Is there perhaps something more to that? Oh, most certainly. But we have to cover some other things before that will all make sense. And thus ends the first lesson on Pokemon Alchemy. Next, we will cover Lunala, Necrozma, and the Ultra Beasts. I hope to see you all next time. And hey, these videos take a lot of time and research and editing time to make, so if you could support this channel in any way, any of the plentiful methods in the description, that would be fantastic. Plus, there is this new awesome Solgaleo as the Alchemical Lion t-shirt that you can get in the shop to support this show too. And until next time, never stop using your noggin.